Well, you guys, welcome to this class. We're super excited to have you here and just always grateful when so many of you take time out of your busy schedules to show up to these classes and learn how to build this business. Today, we're going to talk about the Founders Club announcement, and we're going to talk about a little bit of strategy on getting to gold rank. And I want to just really thank Becky, because for the last 2 weeks when I was on this vacation that ended in this unfortunate accident for me, breaking my leg, she's just been carrying on. And Larry did a class too. Super grateful for that for them, and she created this PowerPoint and these slides. So thank you so much, Becky, for doing that. And I'll just go ahead and dive in and get started. I'm going to talk about the Founders Club. And would you go ahead and maybe mute everybody, but then you can unmute me or make me co-host or whatever. And let's be sure and take questions. If you have questions on what we're going to talk about, please type your questions in the chat, and Becky and Larry, Becky can answer while I'm talking, and then I can answer while she's talking. And let's address some of your questions and your concerns. I had a conversation with Matt this morning also about Founders Club. He told me a few other things to mention to you, so I'll bring those up as we go along. But we're excited. I was really excited to listen to the recording of the India recording of the Zoom class that you guys were all on. I wasn't there, but I was able to listen to it actually on the ferry on the way back while my leg was in pain. But I was really grateful that they are giving India 40 founder spots, you guys. That just is unheard of. Even Brazil is a huge, enormous country. Doesn't have a population as big as India, but I believe there are 30 founder spots in that market. So I was really grateful. But the purpose of the Founders Club, as you can see here, is to identify and reward influential wellness advocate leadership that played a key role in opening and consistently growing a new market. Okay, so the leaders who are in this new market, who are really working like around the clock, full time, putting in the effort and helping to open that market and strengthen that market. doTERRA wants to reward those pioneers and those people who are really putting forth that effort early on in the market. Now, some of you have been doing this for 2 years. Some of you have been doing this for more than 2 years. It's going to take effort like you haven't put in before. It's going to take tons and tons of, classes, showing up, doing your own orders, meeting with lots of people. It's going to take a lot. And Becky will go more into that. But what it does is it stimulates the growth in this market. Okay, it helps a region or a market to get to a big volume quickly because there's so many people working for this Founders Club. Now, the unfortunate part is that not everybody's going to be a founder. There are going to be, a few hundred people that want to go for a founder spot, and there's only going to be 40 spots. So it's going to be the people who started early, or those people that are just super intentionally engaged in this to be able to make this happen. This Founders Club has helped to get people excited. Like I said, it helps to bring movement to the marketplace, and it also helps to create demand for the products for the marketplace and just for this company as a company, right? Let me go to this next slide here. Sorry, I'm used to doing
that. I was thinking about this over the weekend, and when Russell was talking on the call, he said all these points, and I thought, I think in doTERRA's interest, they want to incentivize people to rise up to the leadership level, to actually have partners in India to be able to help strengthen the foundation of India. And, I think it's kind of a twofold. It's not just doTERRA rewarding people for working really hard, but they're actually look at it as an interview. If you were a corporation looking to find 40 people that can be a voice for your company, who would you want that to be? I kind of was thinking about that. I thought that was really important, Yeah,
I love that. So as I mentioned, there are going to be 40 founder spots. This really is unbelievable. There aren't any other markets that have this many founder spots. Even, I'm not even sure how many China has, but I don't think it's 40. I think that China has 35. I could be wrong on that. But one of the things that I want you to know that Matt pointed out to me this morning is that there will be some people that make founder and then lose their founder spot because they aren't able to maintain it. And then somebody else comes into that spot. So they'll keep the Founders Club open for, we don't know how long. Usually it's like, well, in Brazil, the Founders Club filled up in 6 to 8 months. So, but they'll keep it open probably for like a year. And what will happen is some people will qualify, like they might rank gold 3 months in a row. And we'll go into this more a little bit later. But then if they don't maintain it, 10 out of the next 12 months, and they fall out of the Founders Club, they can come back and try again, but there will be a waiting list, and somebody who's not in it, that's not there yet, the first person on the waiting list will roll up into that spot. So then it will be full again. And Matt told me that there were actually 20 people in Brazil with not this many founder spots, with like 30 founder spots. There were 20 people that actually made founder that dropped out of Founders Club. Then other people moved up into their spots, and those people are not founders. So it's shifting. It's shifting. People are moving in and out while the Founders Club is open. Because another thing that might happen is, you have to, well, we'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to the gold part, but if somebody drops out of that Founders Club, like somebody goes, they go 3 months and they're a founder, then they think, oh, I don't really have to work anymore. No, you do have to work. You have to work hard because you have to maintain it. And if you let yourself go all the way down to a premier, you're going to lose your founder spot, right? And so somebody else is going to move up into that founder spot. But that's what he said. He said there were about 20 people in that course of that, when the Founders Club was open, that fell out of the Founders Club. Somebody else moved into their spot and they weren't able to get back in. So this isn't just about getting in after 3 months. This is about maintaining that. And then there will come a time, they didn't talk about this on the call, but Matt said there will for sure come a time after a year when they say, okay, you founders, you're the founders, we're closing the club. Now, in order to maintain your spot, you have to get to platinum. You have 1 year to do it. They expect you to keep growing. And then after that, they'll say, okay, you have 1 year to get to diamond. And then they won't go any farther. They'll say, okay, you have to maintain diamond from now on, 10 out of 12 months out of the year, you have to maintain diamond to continue to be a founder. And if you don't, you'll lose your founder spot and won't be filling them. They won't, the Founders Club will be closed. So in the end, there may only end up being, 30 founders or 35 founders because some people won't be able to maintain their rank. So it's not just about getting to the rank, you guys. It's about having the stability in your business and in your organization to be able to hang on to that spot. It's a race. It is a race, but it's also a race to maintain it and hold it. So as you think of, you can't buy into the Founders Club because, as we'll show you on the here are the requirements. Let's talk about these. Initially, you achieve and maintain the rank of gold or above for at least 3 consecutive months in a calendar year. When this happens and you've ranked gold 3 consecutive months, you will be named as a founder. They'll announce your name. You'll be named as a founder. But then for the next year, the rest of the year, every year after, it says the founder must maintain their rank for at least 10 out of the 12 months of each calendar year. And at first it will be gold. It'll be gold for the year that the Founders Club is open and probably the next year after as well, because people are stabilizing their organization. But then this is where I want you to know they will say, okay, to still continue to be a founder, and I want you to know this ahead of time, you'll have to make platinum and diamond. They're not going to let people just stay at gold and be a founder for the rest of their lives. You have to be more of a leader than that, okay? And then you have to be personally engaged in the business in the India market. Have 90% of qualifying volume come from the India market. This is very important. because some of you are building in other countries, and that's great, but just know that your volume from those other countries will not count on your volume for your founders. You have to have 90% of that coming from India. So just plan on like your gold rank always being completely from India. And then if you want to build in other markets, put them in a different leg. Put them in, another leg that's going to help you rank to other ranks. But, even when you get to platinum and diamond, 90% of that volume is going to have to be in India. Okay, this says 50% of qualifying volume must come from wellness advocates that are actively participating in the company's LRP program. This is to show you that you cannot buy your way into Founders Club. You have to have enough people on your team that are placing LRP orders every month to sustain this. Now, the reason it says 50% is because you can still count new enrollments as well. So you'll be able to count new enrollments towards that 90%, right? But 50% of that has to be from your organization that is continually placing LRP orders. This is why it's important to build now and to get your organization built up, because it's not going to be for people who are just, sticking around at an executive rank or as a manager or a director. You've got to really grow your team, and you've got to do it quickly. Okay. So be a wellness advocate in good standing and adhere to the founders' policies. We'll talk about that a little bit. If there are any questions on these, type them in the chat. Okay. Because I want this to be really clear to you. I want you to know that this volume needs to come from India, that half of it needs to come from LRP orders. I want you to know that it starts out as gold, and that's what you need to run for and try for, but eventually you're going to even need to do more than that. Okay. The Founders Club bonuses are paid out once annually. Got to cover up part of my screen. During the first quarter of each calendar year. So usually by the 15th of February, you'll get that founders check. Whereas your other bonuses come in, fast start bonuses come in every week. The other bonuses come in every month. This only comes in once a year. So each qualifying member of the India Founders Club receives an equal portion, 1/40th of 1%. So 1% of the total commissionable volume in India for that market, okay? And then the company reserves the right to exercise its discretion in determining whether qualifications for earning the Founders Club bonus have been met. So it's their right to say, hey, now you have to become a platinum, or now you have to become a diamond. So as it says here, there may be auditing of your account. They're not going to let you just buy into these ranks. You can't just take a whole bunch of money to enroll a whole bunch of people. That's the scammy stuff that Amway just did. Okay. These have to be legitimate enrollments that are doing their LRP orders. Okay. And then this also is really good to point out. If founders fall out of the Founders Club after all 40 positions are filled, okay, so then if those drop out, they're not going to fill those Founders Club people, once the Founders Club and the positions are full and they close the Founders Club, let's say there are 40 founders and people drop out of that, they're not going to continue to fill those positions because the Founders Club is closed. So let's say that there's only 35 people in the Founders Club. doTERRA's payout to you will still remain at 1/40th of the total commissionable volume. You won't get 1/35th, it won't, if there's only 30 people in the final Founders Club, you won't get 1/30th. You still are going to get 1/40th because that's what the original Founders Club was set up to give you. Okay. So again, Becky, are there any questions about this in the chat? We just want this to be really clear.
No questions. You guys go ahead and type in or raise your hand.
Could you just make clear about Founders Club membership policies? Some policies have been laid down. So how can we peruse that policies regarding Founders Club membership and all that?
Yeah. Okay, let's go to this next slide. So here are some of the policies of the Founders Club. Be a leader of integrity, doing honest work. Okay, we have had people on our team in India who haven't done this, who have done
Yeah.
scammy, fraudulent, dishonest work, and they've had to have their account removed. doTERRA doesn't stand for that. They don't want to be one of those network marketing companies where the leaders are not doing their work in an integrous way, okay? So this is probably the #1 most important thing as you build your business with doTERRA, that you do it honestly and with integrity, okay? Represent doTERRA like an owner and carrying the best representation for standards of network marketing business integrity, okay? This is just goes along with the same thing. Setting a culture as leaders who started from the beginning, that this is a servant-minded company, okay? We are here to serve the people. They are not here to serve us. We benefit from them, and it sustains thousands of people in their lives. But our goal as builders of this company is to be a servant to the other people. That's why 80 to 90% of the people in this company are customers, and why we are a product-focused company, not a business-focused company. The business comes as the products sell, right? And that's where we get our success in the business. No cross-line recruiting. This is one of the policies of Founders Club. You can actually have your account removed and shut down and never be able to build again in doTERRA from cross-line recruiting. What is this? This is taking another person's contacts that they have not just contacted, but that they have really worked to build and taken them as your own enrollment, you know. Open cross-line classes to others without recruiting others' contacts. So this is big in doTERRA. This is what I want you to know. When we came to India, we did a lot of classes and we welcomed and invited anybody, any leaders, even if they weren't on our team, they came to these classes and it was completely fine. We opened those classes to other people. Some of you organized those classes, you know, and helped us with those. Some of them were organized by us or by doTERRA corporate. But here's just an example. We were at these events in Mumbai, right? And there's a guy here in Utah that he helps me with shipping and I help him. We use his warehouse for the shipments, and he puts shipping on our pallets and we ship for him. And he said to me, Suzanne, you're going to be doing these events. I have some people coming to these. Would you just say hi to them, send me pictures? So he had some contacts that he invited to our classes that came to these events in Mumbai. So one of these guys came up to me and he wasn't enrolled yet. And he said, hey, I've been working with this leader. And I'm saying, hey, great. He's such a good leader. You know, go back to him, get enrolled with him, sign up with him. I'm here to help you too. You know, I ship your products actually. And so we took a picture and we sent to this leader and everything. You know, I could have said, hey, guess what? I'm here with you and I'm doing these classes. Why don't you just join me and enroll with me? Or he could have said, Suzanne, can I be with you? Some people say that sometimes. Can I be with you and can you enroll with me? And I could have said, yeah, and I could have enrolled him and that would have been really easy for me to do because I was there. That would have been really unethical for me to do that. I did not do that. I said, go back to Dan and work with him and you know, sign up with him and we're here to help you as well. So this is the culture of doTERRA. You open your classes to everyone, but we don't recruit other people's contacts. That's very important. We want to make sure that we're helping everybody that we can to be successful and that we recruit and sign up our own contacts, our own people that we introduced and that we brought to the class, and that we were the first people to talk to them about doTERRA and that we weren't the ones, you know, doing that. So I just wanted to make sure that that's very clear. No shady dealings, no fraud, no stealing, no lying or cheating. The reason I put stealing in here is because we've had people steal. We've had people steal people's money and use it for their own benefit, for their own rank. You cannot do that in doTERRA and get away with it. You might get away with it. Nobody might call you on it. They might not catch you at first, but you will get caught. You will get caught. And doTERRA has a really strict compliance team. They don't stand for this, okay? So follow all doTERRA incentives and support them as your own. doTERRA will be giving promotions, enrollment promotions, LRP promotions, product of the month, 10% off. They'll be doing promotions in the India market every single month. And you need to use them as your own. You know, you can use them, present them to your team, support them as your own promotions, you know, and do that. And all of these things are going to help you get to gold. But I promise you, if you don't do it ethically, you will not be a founder in this company. You might get to founder, but you won't maintain it. Only the people who do it, you know, with integrity and with honest intention will be the founders in this company. Okay. So does that answer your question? I don't even know who asked that question, but I think it was, maybe it was Daljit or maybe Roy. I'm not sure, but anyway, there's some of the policies, okay, that we can go into.
Madam, it would be really very helpful if you are able to issue an identity card of dōTERRA to each one of the members, so that we will be able to have better access to people and to explain to them. And we will have an identity to approach people. So
yeah, you know what I would suggest you do for that?
Uh,
When you do in fact, today on my Philippines class, I'd love to do this class for you guys. I did a training on the trainings that doTERRA offers. And
okay.
there are 3 of them that are free. And at the end of each one, you get a certificate. And there are 2 of them that are paid. And I explained to them some ways that they could get those almost for free. But what I would do is I would do that essential oil certification and the business building certification. Then you receive a certificate. And you can take that to a print shop. Becky, correct me if I'm wrong. You can take that to a print shop and you could make it into a card, like your certificate, into a card and laminate those certificates that show that you're an essential oil certification, you know, you're essential oil specialist, and that you have the business building certification as well. I think that would be a really great way, because doTERRA doesn't issue cards, but you can figure out a way to do that on your own. And I'm sure that Becky is like so creative when it comes to stuff like that. I'm sure that she would have some good ideas, but that was just an idea that came to my mind when you said that.
Yeah. May I interrupt you? But here in India, the government guideline says that every networker should have a company's ID card.
Okay, I'm going to ask doTERRA about this. I will ask Russell about this, because maybe doTERRA can do this.
It is essential. In a way, I feel that it is essential, madam, because we will have better identity when we approach people. And as per the customs, you know, culture that is prevailing in India, almost every top companies are having their own identity cards.
Okay, I really appreciate knowing this, because I didn't know that. And I'll ask Russell and Manoj about this and see, maybe that's something they would do. I don't know that they would do this.
Guidelines further say that whenever you visit your customers, you have to first show your ID card, and then you start your proceedings.
So doTERRA used to have a template on, and you used to be able to buy business cards from a third party that doTERRA authorized years ago. But then because the logo is copywritten of doTERRA, you can design your own business cards, so that you can go on Canva, design it with doTERRA Wellness Advocate. Because when doTERRA had their own templates, nobody liked them. They wanted to do their own design and stuff like that. So design your own. Go to canva.com. There's logos there you can use that are doTERRA Wellness Advocate. Put your photo on there and put it as your business. Like if you have your doTERRA business name or something like that, then you want to customize it to be you as an independent consultant, you know, and that's what doTERRA provides. And when we were a print shop, we had a template that we used, and doTERRA actually shut me down on that. They wouldn't let me print them for my downline. So because it's a copywritten thing. and they didn't want me making money on their logo, even though I use doTERRA Wellness Advocate. So there's some kind of policies there that need to be approved. But if you do that individually on your own, you go for it. I have a template on Canva. I've shared it with everybody in the past, and you can use that. Just drop your name in your photo and stuff like that, and it's great. But
Becky, maybe when you share the recording for this, would you share that link again?
yeah, I can put it on the recording, definitely.
Okay, and then I will, yeah, but I will also ask if this is like an India culture thing. I'll just ask about it as well, you know, if that would be something that doTERRA could provide. But I'm with Becky. Go print your own, and right now, in the meantime, while we're, you know, asking about it, get that done. I think that's a great thing to do. So let me keep going here. So I'm not going to go through this story. Those of you who attended our events, you heard this story about this man who built the road through the rock, and it was pretty impressive. Just know that you guys are the pioneers. I mean, if you want to share it, Becky, I can't remember all the details of it. I know that his wife was hiking over the mountain and she fell and she died. And so he committed the rest of his life to hammering with a hammer and chisel to making a road through the mountain so that other people could pass through safely and they wouldn't have to have the same problems as his wife did. And it was a great example of someone who is willing to pave the way to make it easier for other people. We feel like we've been pioneers in the India market. I can speak for me and, you know, Matt, for Becky, for Larry. We're certainly, I consider myself a pioneer, and our leaders, all of those of you who have been with us, we consider you pioneers, but you're paving the way to make it easier for other people. When we hear about the people who started doTERRA a long time ago, and they tell us how there were no materials, no tools, only 10 oils, you know, and how they paved the way. I've had some people say, you know, how are we supposed to do this with only 50 oils? You guys, 50 oils is incredible. doTERRA started this company with 10 oils, and they started, and no tools, no kits, nothing else. And this is how it starts in every new market. You start with a few new oils, and then you build on that, and then every few months new products come to the market, and you're the pioneers. So it's really quite cool. Was there anything else you wanted to say about this slide, Becky, before I go on?
No, I think you got it.
Okay, and I just, before I turn this over to Becky, just the last thing, because we've had a lot of kickback on this FSSAI registration, and we realize now that there's going to be food grade, there'll be regular essential oils that are not intended for internal use in India, even though we can use them in the US. And then there will be food grade oils that are specifically meant for internal use. All of the food grade oils, in order to purchase those and use those in India, you will have to have this FSSAI registration. Now, it might be that you can order the other oils that aren't food grade and you won't have to have that. They haven't confirmed that yet. They're actually looking into that. But I think that if you're going to do this as a business, you're going to want to use the oils internally, and you're just going to need to go ahead and do this. This is the same in the Philippines. This is the same in Brazil. This is the same in China. This is the same in many other markets where they have what's called food grade oils. And new doTERRA India accounts, you'll have to provide this at the time of enrollment, or when you transition your account to the India market, you'll have to provide this. So I would just get it done now, you guys. Just do it now. And wellness advocates who do not do this, you won't have access to those food grade oils for sure. And it will be much more difficult for you. So here's the website. Take a screenshot of it. We can put this on our chats as well. Visit this site. It's pretty easy. You select the state. The trade is retail. You select distributor. Becky's got it all written up here. I appreciate this. It's the turnover, you put up to 12 lakhs. The next one is proceed. Then you click here for registration of all businesses. You fill out the Form A. And I think that you pay the fees, which is under $10, I believe. Praveen did it, right, Praveen? And I think you said it was under $10 cost, which is like 700 rupees.
Here it
Susan.
is 500 rupees.
500 rupees. And I think you have to renew it annually. So it's not expensive to do this, 500 rupees per year to get this. I would get this now so that you have it, so that when we transition your accounts, we don't have to say, hey, where's your number? And we can't transition your account, and we're not shipping from the US anymore once the market opens. And so you have no way to build your business or to get your products. Okay, so do this now. Do it now.
Susan, you can take that for 5 years. I have taken that for 5 years, and Dr. Roy has it for 5 years.
5 years. Okay, good news.
Yes,
Only
it's 502 rupees for 5 years. And the only thing you have to add is fats and oils. You have a subcategory in it, which is you have to click on fats and oils, and that's it.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
there's some questions about this in the chat. JC's asking about if both husband and wife need to take the certification. I'm assuming that it's just the account holder who has the main account holder, Suzanne?
I would assume so too. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's one account.
Yeah, I agree. And then this isn't like a certification number or anything that is like a ID number you have to show people, like, you know, we have our ID number for doTERRA. This isn't anything additional to prove that they're certified to buy the food grade oils.
I just think it's, yeah, this FSSAI registration. They don't require this in the Philippines, so this is new to me. I mean, they do have their food grade oils and they're separate, but I don't know. Is it an ID number? Is it, what is that, Joseph?
It's a certification. It's a certification with your photograph and your address at home. It's a 2-page certification with it's given by each state in the country. Like I have it from the state of Kerala. So whoever is in whichever state will be given the certification with a registration number on the behalf of the state government.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
And then the other question regarding that, or I don't know if it's a question, but more of a statement that, you know, when you're talking about Amway having fraudulent stuff, you guys just do this. Like, it's just a simple thing. It's just following the Indian government rules. And I just would just do it. Don't you think, Suzanne? I mean, it's like, don't fight it. It's just, yeah, we sometimes don't like our government policies, but you know, this is kind of a simple, stupid one that we can just, it's just an easy hurdle to jump over and take care of it.
I think the problem is for people, and I get this, for people who are only customers, they're housewives, they're not, they don't have computers, they're not tech savvy, maybe they don't even have a phone. I get it. I get that it might be hard for them, and you as a leader may need to go use your computer and go to their house and help them do this, or get on a call with them and help them do this. If they're just a customer, they're still going to want those food grade oils for their life and for their living and for their wellness. And so just help them. I've told my leaders that once the India market opens, I mean, you've got to have some trainings on back office, on placing orders, on this. You may have to help them with it if they're people who don't use their computers or their phones on a regular basis. But that's going to be your responsibility as their leader. If they're placing orders every month and that volume goes to help you, then you can take 10 minutes to help them register for this and get it done. I think literally Praveen said that when he did it, it took him 10 minutes, or 15 or something. So it's going to take some time, but you can encourage people to do it themselves, and then you might have to help some people, right? So, okay, I think this is my last slide, Becky. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen.